Hey everyone, today's class is called Hold Yourself. One of our deepest desires as humans is to be held and this sense of being carried. And for me, this is exactly what binds do. So they create this sort of wrapping sensation of safety and that feeling of getting a hug. So we are going to be working on opening the shoulders, some twists, and hopefully you feel this sensation of not just being held and carried, but also balancing that out with some freedom. Enjoy. So for today's class, you will need 2 blocks, 1, 2, and a strap. And you'll be able to do this if you don't have those props as well, but they're just good things to have in your little yoga home practice toolbox. So we're gonna start in Virasana, which is hero's pose, like I'm seated now. You'll bring a block between your heels, and then if you need to, go for it. You can just prop it up. And then you'll just sit right back down. I like to move the calves out of the way. Relax the hands onto the thighs. And grow tall through the spine. Start to just come into your breath. That natural rhythm, nothing forced or manipulated, just gently placing your awareness on the breath. You're going to take your hands, place them onto the thighs, thumbs facing in, and just start to press the heels of your hands down into the thighs. And then lift the lower back, and you'll start to feel this sensation of space in the front of the hips. And the idea is to press down and to work to keep that. Lift the lower back, and then release the hands. Maintain that space. And then you'll take your left hand and spin the palm back and start to crawl it up your back. And then take your right hand to your left elbow and wiggle it in a little bit more. And then draw the shoulder heads back, front ribs in. And retract the skull. And then just take the right hand and you can press it down into your thigh, finding that space in the front of the hips again. Create a little space in the front of the left shoulder. You can even press your shoulder head back. One more breath, and then slowly unravel it without it flinging. Feel the blood flow back in, and then release your hand. Your opposite hand, reach it out long, spin the thumb down, and then crawl it up your back as much as you can on your own, and then take your left hand to your right elbow, and you squeeze it in towards the midline. Draw your right shoulder blade down the back, seal the front ribs towards the frontal hips, and already start to feel that sense of lift in the lower belly, creating space here so we're not collapsing. And then take the left hand to the left thigh, press the thigh bone down. Physically, you are creating more space. You might send that right shoulder head back a little bit. Take one more breath, and then out. Slowly unravel the arm, and just feel the blood flow back in. Deep breath in, and out. And bring the block between your inner thighs. This is just to get this sense of hugging towards the midline. So we're already starting that sensation of a hug in this wrapping, right? And everything we do is this sensation of hugging back towards center. Our attention, we hug it back in. The thighs, we wrap in. Outer triceps wrap in. Right? And take a few cat-cows, hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Inhale, heart forward. And exhale, round, press away. Inhale, lengthen the heart through the gateway of the arms. And exhale, draw the lower belly in. One more, keep the belly engaged as you pull the heart forward. So it's not this twerk. This is, I always end up saying twerk in every class. Take another breath in and exhale, round the spine. Good. And then stay here, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Good. Firm the outer hips in, and when you do that, you automatically hug into the block from the peripheral, right, the outer hips to the inner thighs. Sandwich towards the midline. From the outer arms in. Yes, good. And then stretch the spine. Plank waves, rise onto the toes. Good. And then ripple forward, high plank, one of my favorite warm-ups. And then bend the knees. Hips high, downward facing dog. Need a little bit of undulation through the spine, which is essentially just means that you are moving it in a wave. Inhale, come forward. Lengthen through the crown of the head, bend the knees, lift the sit bones, and press the chest back. Firm the ribs in, lengthen the neck. Ripple forward again. Full body mudra. And press back. Downward facing dog. Let's do one more because it feels good. Ripple forward. It's the sense of flow and freedom which we want to maintain as we come into the binds, right? It's not just static and holding yourself, but can you breathe while you're being bound? Rise to your toes and then tiptoe all the way. Hands or hips high, hands heavy. Good. All the way, step between the hands. Good. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Just release the block. Sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. And then circle the hands to the heart. Inhale, rise, reach. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen, and then step your right foot back. Lower your knee. Good, and then reach your arms up. Low lunge. Take a deep breath in. Good, and become upright, or come upright. Lift the front of the hips. You're going to take both hands and cup your thigh and start to just draw the skin of the thigh forwards, and you feel a space in the front of the hips. Press down and forward. Lengthen through the spine. Tuck your back toes. Keep that space in the front of the hip. Reach your arms high. Interlace the hands. Press the palms to the ceiling. This one never gets old. I do this in many classes. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lift the back knee, hover. Lean back. It's just so effective. It's direct. Lower the back knee. I love things that just get straight to the heart. Right? No bullshit. Lift the back knee. Reach through the arms. 3, 2, front of the hips lift. And release, lower the hands. Half split, straighten the left leg. You have your blocks there. Pull the chest forward and fold. Inhale, lengthen, find space. And exhale, surrender. Good, come to the fingertips. Bend your left knee, plant the hands, lift the back knee, and then press to plank. And press through the heels, lengthen through the crown of the head. Avoid looking at the toes. This is like your texting head. Yeah, the whole idea is to keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then as slowly as you can, lower as you resist, building strength and warming up the shoulders as you go down. Point the toes, hands by the ribs. Inhale, lift the chest. Cobra. Forehead to the mat. Again, inhale, lift. Anchor the pinky toes and the pubic bone. And release. Lift the lower belly. Lift the chest. Shoulders continue to lift away from the mat. And release. Good. Press up to your knees. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And full breath out. Center the right foot. Lift your left leg high. Inhale. And draw your knee to your chest. Thigh to rib cage. Step through. Lower your back knee. Find that 90-degree bend in the front knee. Then you're going to take your left hand to your left thigh. Press it down and forwards. Create the space. Reach your right arm up. Good. So lengthen the right side of the body. And start to lean forward. Forward, first twist. We're already there. Right elbow to the left thigh. Expand. Ooh, got a crack. Expand the chest. Draw these left ribs in. Good. And keep that left thigh plugging down and back. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. Open the left chest. Squeeze the back of the left shoulder blade. Maybe the gaze comes up. It's much harder when the hands are apart because you can't crank the spine. You have to engage the muscles. One more breath. Good. Release the hands down. Bring the blocks to the highest height, the top of the mat, under the shoulders, and we're going to launch into warrior three. And straighten the left leg and lift your right thigh up to hip height. Now, lift the lower belly, press the left thigh back. It's that same sense of space in the front of the left hip. And then fingertips. And let's just take 3 little bends and straighten. You can always hover the hands, bend, just working on the balance and stability. So you warm the hips. One more, bend and straighten. Step forward, deep breath in, and exhale, fold into the legs. Sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. And circle the hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift. Plant the hands, step your left foot back. A deep bend in the right knee, lower the back knee. Reach the arms up. Lift the front of the hips, press the tailbone forward, lengthen. And then both hands cup the thigh, thumbs down like you're gonna slice the leg. And then press the skin of the leg forward. Lift the front of the hips and descend your right thigh. Good. Keep that sensation. Good. And then interlace the hands above your head. Good. Press the palms to the ceiling. Squeeze the upper arms in. Here we go. Straight to it. Lift the back knee. Hover. Keep the space in the front of the hip, and then lower. One more breath here. Lift the knee, hover, lean back over your back knee for 3, 2, lower the knee, release your hands. Half split, straighten your right leg and draw the shoulders down the back. So we're taking the doming out of the back, which is what we do in the bind as well, and the twist. We're trying to avoid our hunchback. So we're not, even though little old ladies with the hunchback, super cute, but not comfortable. Deep breath in and fold. Spine health. And then bend into your right knee. Plant the hands, lift the back knee, front toes step to plank. Good. And again, it's another opportunity to take out that rounding. Elongate the crown of the head, pull the chest forward, and actively press away at the same time. Chest is broad. And you can lower all the way or come to chaturanga, halfway or a quarter of the way. Press the feet back, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Big breath in and full breath out. Center your left foot, lift your right leg high, inhale. And then draw your knee into your chest, step between your hands. Good. And then lower the back knee. And here we go. You're gonna take your right hand to your right thigh, press it down and forwards. Lower belly in, reach your left arm to the ceiling. Keep the length and start to lean forward. Good. Take the elbow to the right thigh and press your left shoulder blade, into the back of the heart. Realign your head with your tail. And so the head and the tail in the same line. Open the right chest. Press your right thigh down with your hand. Keep that and then reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Open the right chest. Now lift the belly off of your right thigh. Gaze up. Deep breath in. And then slowly release. Let hands to the blocks for support. Straighten your right leg and lift your left leg off the mat. Good. No banana, no back bending. So pull the front of the hips in, ribs in. Elongate through the crown of the head like you're in plank. Press through the left heel. Good. And fingertips can be light, as light as possible. And then take a little bend into the right knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more. Bend and straighten. Deep breath in. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. You're already in that long high half lift. And then exhale, fold. Let's sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. And then circle the hands all the way back to the heart. Coming back to yourself. Good. Bend your knees. Grab a block between your shins and reach your arms up. Chair. Sit low into the legs. Squeeze the shins, outer shins into the block. And so we work outer to inner. Good. Deep breath in, sit a little bit lower, reach through the fingers, arms in line with the ears, so it's shoulders as well as the hips, and then continue to lower, lower, try to keep that block, lift Navasana. Grab behind the thighs, lift the chest, good, reach your arms forward, good, you can always stay with the high one. hands behind the thighs, or just stay right here. And that might be plenty of core. Reach your arms forward and then slowly lower to a low boat. Hollow the belly, reach through the toes. Good. And then slowly lift up. Take the block between your hands. Good. And then lower, reach the arms above your head. And come up, lift. Take the block between your shins. Lower. So we're just changing the block. Lift. Arms above the head. Good. Lower. Deep breath in. And then slowly lift. Take the block between the shins. And lower, low boat. Hover for 3, 2. Lift the shins to tabletop. Take the hands behind your head. Press the lower belly down. Deep breath in. And then exhale, lift. Good. The legs, the hips stay, pelvis. We're just going to twist to the right and hold. Left elbow towards your right knee, but don't bring the knee to the elbow. For 3, 2, love a long hold, and 1, come back to center. Good, over to the left, twist. It's all about holding this class. 3, finding that support within yourself, and inner strength. 2, 1 more. Come back to center. Reach the arms above the head. Inhale. And sweep everything up. And then release. Cross the ankles, downward facing dog. Going from being bound into the sense of freedom. Deep breath in. And out. Center the left foot, lift your right leg high. Inhale. And then draw your knee to your chest, step between the hands. Deep bend into your right knee. Plant the back foot 45 degrees. Separate the heels slightly. Good, deep bend into the right thigh. And take your right thumb, place it into your right hip crease, and pull that right hip back so the right side of the body gets long. And then take your left hand to your left thigh and press that thigh back. And it's almost like you're trying to spin the inseam of your yoga leggings to the back of the room. Good. Keep that action in the hips. Reach the arms forward and rise up. Warrior 1. And another one that I can never get enough of. Feeling that deep stretch into the front of the left hip. And then the right thigh descending, frontal hips lift. And it's that same sensation of the thigh moving forward and down, right front of the hip lifts. And maybe press the palms. Deep breath in. And out, holding yourself. And hands to the hips. Step the back foot in, straighten your right leg. Moving into pyramid, take the arms to the side, spin the palms back like we did in the beginning, and then you can grab opposite elbows or take reverse prayer. You may need to go a little bit lower to get the prayer. Press the heels of the hands together so all the fingers touch. Anchor the inner edge of the front foot, press your left thigh back. Press the ribs into the back body, inhale. And then start to fold. And it's the same sensation. Imagine your right thumb and your right hip pulling it back. And then the left hand to the left thigh, pressing that thigh bone back. Long spine. And feel this sense of boundary, right? Where your torso presses up into the hands and the hands press back down. And that's where we have boundaries. There's a sense of safety. and protection. We're creating a little container for ourselves to be held. One more breath. And then take the arms to the side. Ooh, feel that blood flow back into the wrists. Release the hands down. Lower your left knee. Bring the hands into the heart. Inhale. Lean forward and twist. So think of that right thigh descending, right hip back, left elbow to the knee. Lift your chest. Open the heart. And then lift the back thigh this time. And again, imagine your left hand to the thigh, pressing it up. All right, it's those same things that we just translate into all of the poses. Firm the right hip in. Lift the lower belly and the front of the hips. Good. And then take the gaze down. Release the hands. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand, left hip. You can use your strap or grab your strap if you have it and gather your right knee and lift up to stand. Good. So option is to stay here, or you can peace grip your right big toe. Good. Or you can wrap the strap around the ball of your right foot. Good. Draw the right shoulder back. And press the left thigh back. And breathe. Outer hips firm in. Inhale fully. Good. And then exhale slowly. Release the strap or your hand to your big toe. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up, press your palms. And then circle the hands all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to the blocks. Good. Start to lift your left thigh. Lift the left thigh. Good. Come to the fingertips. Warrior 3. Press the left thigh back, and then you'll start to draw the hands into the heart. So right thigh presses back. Lift the lower belly and the front of the right hip. Arms forward, biceps by the ears. One more breath. And then slowly step the left foot back. Step to plank. Deep breath in, chaturanga. Press the feet back, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. I like to linger. I'm a lingerer. Sometimes there's too much lingering, right? Where you're a delayer. Or maybe you move too quick and you are a rusher. It's good to know these things about yourself, and then you start to tailor your practice to bring yourself a little more into balance. Center your right foot, lift your left leg high, inhale. And then draw your knee into your chest. Step between the hands. Good, deep bend into your left knee. Place the back foot 45 degrees. And then draw that outer left hip back. Grab your thumb into it. Pull it back, right hand to the right thigh, and press your right thigh back. Spin the inner right thigh back and press into the blade edge of the back foot. Good. Keep that action in the hips, arms forward, and then rise up. Avoid the back bend. Contain the front ribs. So these are binds. This is obviously not a bind, but we apply it. We create this sense of a container for the body. We contain. We hold ourselves. Press the palms, deep breath in. And then circle the hands to the hips. Step that back foot in. And straighten your front leg. Take the arms to a T. Press your right thigh back. Lift the left kneecap. Spin the palms back and then grab either opposite elbow or, again, reverse prayer. Press the heels of the hands together and the thumb pads. Draw the shoulder heads back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and pull the front ribs down towards the frontal hips. Hinge at the hips. Left outer hip firms in and back, and right thigh engages. So put your mind in your back leg. Notice if you turned into that little hunchback lady at the grocery store, pushing her little, those cool things that little Spanish women use to carry their produce shop to shop. I want you to draw your shoulders back, heels of the hands together, and length through the spine. Slowly release the arms. Whew. Lower the hands. Lower your right knee. Hands to heart. Deep breath in. Lean forward. And twist right elbow, left thigh. Okay, so that left hip moves back. Lift the lower belly off of the leg, and then lift the chest. So right shoulder blade into the back of the heart, head in line with tail. Tuck the back toes, lift your knee. And imagine your right hand pressing that right thigh up. Full commitment. So you hit the boundaries, you hit the edges of the containers. You're not shrinking into it, but you're expanding into all sort of walls of that container. Take up space. We make ourselves small. Take up space. And then release the hands down and step forward. Grab your strap. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, right hand to right hip. Grab your left knee, come up. Good, so you can either continue to grab the knee if you don't have a strap, or peace fingers to your big toe, or you simply take the strap around the ball of the foot and bring the strap into the left hand and stand. And sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggling to find it. Press your right thigh back. Draw your left shoulder back. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly release the leg. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the blocks. Here we go, left heel underneath the hip. Slide your right leg back like it's just gliding up to hip level. Draw the lower belly, front of the hips in. And shoulders in line with the hips and the back heel. Hands to heart. Spin those right toes down and then reach your arms by the ears. Arms by the ears. Avoid the hunchback. And avoid the banana as well. Gosh. Path of the middle. And hands down. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Inhale. Lower. Chaturanga. And upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale fully. exhale completely. Lower the knees. Left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, feel that twist. And exhale, sweep your right arm under, come down to the back of the right arm. Firm the hips towards the middle. Lengthen the left side of the waist, reach your left arm up. And then bring the hand behind the back. Good, find a half bind or your right thigh, and then draw your left shoulder back to open your chest. And then take the hips away from your left shoulder. It's sort of like a little fake rest. Well, it feels, it's a little bit of a rest. Deep breath in. Release the arm, left hand down, right hand down. Okay, other side, reach your left arm up. Thread the arm through, come down to the back of the arm, left ear down. Reach your right arm up. Good, take your hips away from your right shoulder, and then take your right hand behind you to your left thigh. Grab the thigh, roll your right chest open, and squeeze your hips to the midline. Relax the feet. Right arm up, inhale, and right hand down, left hand down. Deep breath in, heart forward, and exhale, round cat. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Good. Left foot down, lift your right leg to the ceiling. And so everything hugs to the midline. Squeeze the knee to the chest and step between the hands. Deep bend, left heel down. And warrior one, inhale, rise, lift, press the palms. And then interlace the hands behind the back. Good, open the chest, inhale. Good, humble warrior. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Firm your right hip in so you're not going towards or between the legs. You bow to the inside of your right thigh. Pull that right hip in and bend deeper into your right knee. Shoulders away from the mat, head is heavy. Release the hands, walk over to the left. Parallel the feet. Inhale, wide angle forward fold. And exhale, fold. Slide the heels of the hands in lines with the heels of the feet. It helps to use the edge of the mat to feel the evenness. Deep breath in, and then bend the elbows backwards. And hug the outer hips in, firm the elbows in. And then lengthen between the shoulders and the ears. Deep breath in. And full breath out. Good. Walk the hands forward, inhale. And then walk your hands all the way to the top of the mat. And find your lunge, lower the left knee. So you can get your strap ready. And then I want you to bring a block. Well, it's pretty much already there. It's adjacent to your right foot. Good old mathematical terms. Okay, you're gonna bring your right hand to your right thigh, just like we did before. Reach your left arm up. This is where we're gonna play with coming into the bind. Start to lean forward. Good, left elbow to the right thigh. Press the left shoulder blade into the back of the heart. And we're gonna go lower now. So take a deep breath in. And then maybe slide the armpit down. Yeah, firm the right hip in. Cool. So the left hand can release down to the mat or just float. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling with the strap. Bring your right hand behind you. Good. Open your right shoulder just like you did when we were on the floor. Open the right chest. Good. And then the left hand can come underneath the thigh to grab onto the strap or your fingers. Good. Squeeze the right hip in and then lean back, head in line with tail. So you stay here. This is great. Or you can play with the balance, tuck the left toes and lift the knee. Lean the upper body back. And look, you are holding yourself. You're literally creating a container, this massive hug where you're wrapping your arms around you and creating this boundary so you feel safe. And at the same time, I want you to find a sense of freedom. Lengthen through the crown of the head, through the back heel, and also lift up away from your right thigh so you're not resting down. Carry yourself. Deep breath in. And then slowly lower the back knee. We reverse it, right arm up. Good, and then release the strap. Come back to center. Oof. Okay, deep breath in. Good, and then you're gonna lean forward, come to the blocks, lift your left leg. Press through your left heel. Good, so we're in that warrior 3 prep. Come to the left hand, bring your right hand to your right hip, send your right hip back, left toes point down. Start to spin the chest to the right. Spin, spin, spin. That may be enough. Or reach your right arm up. Ooh, feeling tight today. Press the left thigh to the ceiling. Take the gaze up. Revolved half moon. Right hand down. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. Circle the hands to the heart. One last little standing pose on this side. Left hand to left hip. Good. Draw your right knee up into your chest. Like we did before, press the left thigh back. So you can stay here, or we'll take the twist. You can extend the foot long, yeah, if you can maintain the length in the spine. The left hand is gonna come across to your right knee or to the outer edge of the foot. Press the left thigh back. Send your right thigh a bit down and back, and then reach your right arm back. Twist. Steady the breath and expand into all 4 corners. Fingertips, toes, crown of the head. Slowly turn back, hands to hips, and release the foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Freedom and flow. And exhale, fold. Deep breath in, halfway lift. Plant the hand step or jump back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Linger a little bit, especially in the front of the hips. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Center your right foot, lift your left leg high, inhale. Draw your knee into your chest, step between the hands, deep bend. Good. Right heel flattens, press down through the outer edge of the right foot, and then rise up. Warrior 1. Take a big breath in, lengthen, and then interlace the hands behind the back. Press the fists down, open the chest, inhale, and then bow inside of your left thigh. And lift the lower belly and find a rounding in the spine. Firm the outer left hip in, squeeze the shoulder blades, and release the head. Deepen your left knee. And then release your hands all the way down. Walk around to the right. Good. Again, align the heels with the edge of the mat. Slide the hands back. Deep breath in. Lengthen and then fold belly to thigh. So you're trying to get that connection, upper body, lower body. And you can stay. Or you can play with your headstand. You can bend your knees a little bit, reach the crown of the head down, And the head is not between the hands, it's actually out in front of, so you create that triangle. And then play with lifting the heels and the toes. Firm the elbows in, lift the lower belly, and then play with squeezing the legs together. Press the thighs back, bum in. Good. Press into the hands. And then slowly separate the legs. You're at home, so you can play around if you like. Inhale, breathe, find space, and walk the hands all the way back to the top of the mat. Lower the right knee. Okay, get your strap ready to your left hand. So left thigh down, reach your right arm up, start to lean forward, and find that twist. Hands together. Lift the chest. Big breath in. Left hand, left thigh, and start to slide the right armpit so you're going a little bit lower. Good. You can release your right hand down, fingertips to the mat, block, or just floating, but try not to get out in front of. You need to keep the connection of the arm and the thigh. Left arm up, and then spin the palm back, bring the strap behind you. And then take that rounding out, so lean the skull back in line with hips, and then right hand comes under, finding the strap or the fingers. I like to look down to my front foot, firm the left hip in, lean back. And you can stay or press the right thigh up. Notice if you're resting on the thigh, can you have this sense of lift, expanding from back heel through the crown of the head, and then a sense of lifting up from the floor, root to rise. Open the left chest. Slowly we reverse, lower the right knee down.